From being a pipe dream to being a serious title contender again, Mercedes in 2024 are seemingly back. Seeing the dominant force from only a few years back struggle on track again at the beginning of the season highlights just how wrong they must have got their philosophy when the new regulations came in. So what is it really going to take for them to become world champions again? Mercedes was still not even in the top 3 fastest teams at the beginning of the season, with the rise of McLaren this year and Aston, which have left the party, but they still weren't there to pick that spot off. Mercedes technical chief James Alison stated about the car, "A big focus has been on improving the car's unpredictable rear axle, which the drivers often refer to as spiteful. We have worked on this to try and create a car that's reassuring to our drivers." Hamilton also highlighted this issue again in Saudi Arabia after FP2. He reflected on his tricky session by saying, "Yep, just a typical day, lacking confidence in the rear of the car." In Q3 he only managed 8th place, nearly a second off the pace of the Red Bull driver Max Verstappen on pole. His teammate didn't fare much better, qualifying only 1 place ahead of him. The race wasn't any better for any of them, ultimately finishing 47 seconds off the race winner for Lewis and 39 seconds for George. By the time the season had reached Canada though, Mercedes' fortunes were changing. By this point in the season they had put plenty of upgrades on their car and were starting to understand it better. It was evident that they were fast and something was working better on the car. George put in a brilliant lap to get pole position, and he said after the race, "We've made small steps over the past few races and we come to Canada to get pole position and a podium, and that's really encouraging. We've been one of the fastest cars all weekend, so we've definitely made progress." Hamilton echoed these sentiments. "On my side, it wasn't the best weekend. We had the pace to be fighting higher up and we ultimately finished 4th. I'll go away and I'll work on what I need to do to come back stronger. I made too many mistakes, but overall, the positive I can take away is the performance of the car. This shows us that they really are starting to get to grips with the car now and the results are coming. Yes, they were probably helped by the weather a little bit in Canada, but it was genuine. It's a glimpse of what was about to come next." The pace in Silverstone was really strong and Lewis went on to win, but that was also partly due to Lewis and Silverstone. There's something about them too. But the pace in the car was still good and it was looking menacing. Obviously, for upgrades it takes more than just a front wing to improve a car, and Mercedes have added upgrades to their floor, which on these cars being ground effect was vital. They also experimented with a lot of different rear wings at various tracks too. With positive comments coming from technical director James Alison and the drivers now both telling comparable stories and interviews, we can conclude that results are genuine, and they are starting to find their rhythm again. This added to the Spa 1-2 finish, which saw both drivers race against each other, with the Red Bull, McLaren and Ferrari not close enough to pose a serious threat. Mercedes are now back. Check out the link in the corner of this video for the Spa controversy. So, Mercedes started off the season similar to how they finished the last. Kind of in trouble, but they figured out their troubles in a very short space of time this year, but not short enough to keep Lewis because he's off to Ferrari next year. But results are coming. The proof is now there that Mercedes are fighting at the sharp end of the stick. So, what's your predictions for the second half of the season? Are the champions in for a shout for any more trophies this year? Stay tuned for more F1.